week.
Was it 63,000?
63,000, and then the other was up here at the top, the 206, 577, 56.
Okay.
She went ahead and cut that because our balance was so low. And then second installment's due October the 28th. She just printed you a new report a while ago from
Thank you.
stuff and
I will do
she's
that.
like, well, it'll be more up to date, we'll just print
Yeah.
a new one. Just print one I can.
There's nothing exciting going on. Done with CIC's training.
Done with CIC's training, that went really well. Wish we could've squeezed it in sooner, but. Shouldn't be too long, we'll be giving it printed out.
Printed out stuff. Good deal.
Joe, how's it?
Alright, see you all.
Excellent.
Bills, huh? You don't happen to know, is there a set standard for why you would put stop signs in certain places? As far as like if you was gonna make a two-way stop or four-way stop, or is there a policy in place that you?
Well, you know, you have to kind of do a traffic study and see what is going on in such a specific situation as to why you would want to. I mean, obviously when you're on a main highway versus a side road, that would be a criteria. You know, I mean, if it's two roads that are basically very, very similar in traffic counts and, you know, whether very similar to the respect that one may or may not, neither of them may or may not be a through street or something of that nature, then you'd have to probably go off of historic records, maybe if there's been accidents there before, or, you know, certain things of that nature.
I was asked to check out the intersection of Airport Road and Upper Salem Road. Apparently there's a kid or some kids down there west of that intersection that are just flying up and down Upper Salem Road. And there's somewhat of a hump on the west side of that intersection that it's hard to see. So people at the stop signs when they're pulling out are afraid they're gonna get T-bone there. I figured I'd say something to the sheriff too. If
I could look more into it as to what is required. I know in the past, you know, like when the city has wanted to do it, they basically went to traffic records before and see if there's any accidents there or anything that would warrant making a stop sign. Maybe a procedure to follow. That's, I mean, those are not county highways, those are basically township roads, so it's more of a, we probably got more flexibility with
Salem.
Is it?
Yep.
As far as you know, is it any right there?
If I tell you I'm gonna be lying, I don't remember that there has been.
Yeah, man.
Marathon Petroleum, is that our last one? Guys are done, ain't they?
I think it is our last one.
How's your equipment doing better this week?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, there's little repairs here and there. We found out what was wrong with the truck. I told you our trucks broke down a couple weeks ago. It's those, they call them EGR coolers. They're something to do with the regeneration system, so it's emission things. Basically, it recirculates exhaust back through the engine to burn it twice.
Okay.
And these coolers are part of that system, and they're pretty pricey to replace. I mean, it's gonna be around $2,000 just for the coolers to put them back on.
What year is this truck?
This one's like a 2008, I believe.
Too dang.
I know, I mean, that's what you run into with these
Yep.
emission systems, and that's particularly
Can't bypass
something
that.
something that International has done in these newer models is they've tried to put this kind of system on there so they didn't have to use the DEF fluid.
The DEF fluid's a lot
Basically-
easier.
Yeah, it's basically backfired in their face, basically. I mean, all this stuff that goes wrong, and it's so pricey to fix. You can buy, don't tell them how much DEF fluid for it and have that other system, but, you know, it's what it is. I mean, that's why not a lot of people are liking International much anymore.
Hug the trees, boys, hug the trees.
And to answer your question, I don't know if there's a way to bypass that. It's probably against the law to bypass it because of emissions. I'm sure they make, probably like, they used to make the receivers that you could steal satellite dish service. They may make kits to bypass that, I don't know, and it may not be illegal around here. I might have to check into that, but I'm sure that it's not something you could just pick up from the local parts store. You probably have to get it.
I mean, it's not something like, if you got pulled over, they can check, is it?
Yeah, they can check.
Oh, yeah, they can check.
that.
If we ever went to where they actually check for emissions around here, it would definitely be checked. I mean, like in the east, in the Illinois counties that is just right up by St. Louis, and I'm sure the ones by Chicago, they all have to have probably emission stickers put on them every year. And I guess we're a little fortunate that we don't have to do that down here, because we're in the country, but I'm not saying that won't be, might be a part of it someday. You never know. I still have not heard any progress made on the Illinois budget thing. I've been looking into some of the things about what we would have to maybe do or not do for potential layoffs, and I didn't know, maybe sometime we need to have a closed session meeting on that to talk it over to see what we would do, because some of the stuff is up to us, how we handle it. When you're dealing with insurance and IMRF and all that stuff, there's a lot of bearing on that as far as your employees are concerned, how you handle layoffs, and that's what we would have to discuss. honestly still don't have a clue as to whether they're gonna resolve this or not by the end of the year, but I did go over my budget and re-look at everything in, as much detail as I can right at this point. I'm certain we can make it to the end of the year on the reserves and the funds that we have right now, but we're gonna basically be dwindling some of our accounts down to basically nothing. Township motor fuel being one of them.
Did you say Brandon talked to you about motor fuel tax or?
He says he's coming down to explain where the money's at.
Does Joe need to be here when he does that?
Brandon Phelps is coming
Yeah.
down, when is he
I don't
coming
know.
down? Yeah.
You might have to catch him at City Hall, I don't know. Do you know when he's coming down?
No,
Okay,
he didn't say.
so, maybe if we hear, we'll let you know.
Well, yeah, that'd be, I mean, I guess knowing where it's at is a good thing. I mean, I honestly hope that, when they do resolve this issue, that we get all
There should be a flush of cash.
all the back pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they decide to take that somehow or in some way, that'll even add insult to injury upon us, so.
So you all have no idea, I mean, obviously your group's trying to work with the decision makers at the state level, find out when it's gonna be passed.
Well, our group has no dog in the fight. I mean, we're just basically begging and pleading and
Yeah.
sending letters and
Right.
saying, please, 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 please resolve something.
Yes.
And, I mean, it's all in politicians' hands.
Right.
So,
They're not giving you no insight of any dates or when they're gonna try.
no. Sure not yet anyway. That's all the news I have.
Y'all done mowing? No, still working on it.
We can probably mow until the snow falls if we wanted to. I mean, we got 3 guys out mowing right now. I mean, 2 of our normal guys, and we still have 1 temp.
It's cold weather tonight, might help slow it down.
Yeah. I mean, stuff is really grown pretty tall. I mean, we're out on Bowes Road right now. We're gonna do county highways right now. And then if we finish those and actually have some time left, then we might go back to doing another pass on some oil and ship roads that are really long or tall. Yeah. My yard is slowed down a little bit. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rights of way they've probably slowed down. It's just that they're already tall.
It's a big brown patch, that just something that you burnt there or what, or is that
My
different
yard.
type of grass?
Oh, there was a bunch of crabgrass and
Okay.
everything that just took over everything, so I killed it.
Okay, I didn't know what you was.
I was wanting some of my good grass to take it over. I didn't. Probably have to wait till next spring to get that established.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
That neighbor across the street, he's working daily, isn't he?
Oh man, he's working hard on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be nice when it's done.
Every time I drive by Chastie's, she says, we need to get out there and do some of the stuff what he's doing, doing this, doing that.
So I'll jump on out there and
Yeah.
help him, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty busy.
It's amazing how many limbs and trees and stuff he's cut down
Yeah.
around this place. And there's still more to
Oh,
cut.
yeah. He cleared a lot of it out, didn't he?
When you don't stay on top of it, boy, it gets overgrown pretty fast.
He does. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, you guys have a good day.
You too. Be careful out there. Friends.
Stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Stimulate the economy.
That's true.
Food and gas.
extra little shards they have on there that,
The PPA or
yeah,
whatever
that
it's called.
jumped.
It really got us.
I think mine at home went from $11 to $75 last month.
Does it just fluctuate month to month, or?
I guess it's based on their cost of their electricity or something.
Did you have a glass window, Buzz, West Pacific glass?
Yeah, I had a guy come in one night about 1 o'clock in the morning, needing a place to stay, so he said, I'm gonna go outside and get a rock and break your window.
You're kidding.
True enough, yeah, that's what he did.
Jesus.
So, like Ernest T. Bass.
The jail window? Or one of the cars?
No, in the lobby.
Okay.
So he got to stay for free and it cost us $240.
Yeah,
Plus food.
close food. Didn't have to go to the hospital then, that's,
At least he didn't cut himself with glass.
Is there a way to get restitution or any, I mean, can we make him do something?
well, he spent 30, 60 days in jail, got out, was out like 3 or 4 days, and now he's back in again.
Somebody here from Massac.
Well, yeah, he's moved in from some other area.
Well, he's probably on our general assistance roll if you all wanna check him
Well,
out.
probably.
Well, they don't get that if they're in jail, sure.
Shit, you better look at your list, bud.
I think he's one of these guys that's figured out the system, knows how to stay for free.
But seriously, will he, any kind of restitution on him to pay us back? Do we file charges against him or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's charges filed, and there'll be a restitution order as part of the plea agreement, but if and when you'll ever see anything, I think so. He's probably on social security or disability or something.
You can't take, since it's, I mean, it's state, you can't get any kind of garnishment where the check just comes to you minus
Social security.
screw it up, you know? Well, he just didn't have a place to stay, literally, he just wanted,
So you're telling me
Jesus.
that our crime fighting unit knew he was gonna break a window?
No, we didn't know it. He told the dispatcher, the deputies were out on
We
call.
okay?
Yeah, I mean,
He came in and told the dispatcher, I'm gonna go outside to get rock breakers. So he went outside, got the rock, back in, they basically stood outside until they showed up. Then they arrested him.
Easy.
And that's not the first time that's happened.
This next time we'll take this threat more serious.
There was one guy did, it wasn't save a lot, just one of the buildings uptown, called the office, you know, it was wintertime. They sent somebody up there and fixed the break on window. And he did.
so is there anybody around in this situation of the jail that would have a taser on her hip?
They can only, the jailers have got one, but they can only use it in the jail. They can't come out front.
What have we gotta do to shock this guy? Get his attention? Make an example?
You can, but he's got some problems, put it that way. Every community's got several of these, and this is ours.
I sure hate he's costing us money like that.
Can't find him, they won't pay him, just hope they don't have any medical bills.
What did, Scott Damien decide to do with that car? Is he gonna keep it or is Gary?
I'm thinking he's, last I talked to him, I think he's gonna keep it.
Okay.
I told him we had some radios, some uses, you know, we can let him have. Because there was one in it, but he was wanting a repeater radio.
Yeah, he indicated to me he was gonna keep it.
Okay.
Thursday night's that meeting, every night.
I don't know, Mr. Mentor's behind us.
Oh,
He maybe-
Thursday at
6:30.
6:30, okay.
It's first, I didn't know. Is it at the courthouse or? Okay.
That's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Hang on just a second. Supposed cross rocket with a young kid on it, running up and down Upper Salem Road. And some of the residents out there on Airport Road and Upper Salem are worried they're gonna get in a wreck with this kid.
Any idea where he's coming from?
I think she might be able to tell you. It's somewhere, this kid lives west of the intersection there at Upper Salem and Airport. Somewhere right down towards that state ground, there's a subdivision or,
What's that? Okay. We got kids on that bad one.
I don't know that this kid is old enough, but he's flying up and down the highway on one.
Okay, so I can probably say what his name is right now. All right.
There you go, thank you.
Well, come on up here, Wally.
Sure. How you doing?
Doing good, Wallace, how you making it?
Enjoying a little good weather here.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have a meeting Thursday night, and on the agenda, we're gonna talk about the courthouse. I've been tromping around talking to people again, and majority of my comments have been about saving the courthouse in some form or fashion. I wish all of you guys could be there, and I hope there's a whole lot of people. I know I don't know what you have to do in this community to get people to come out and express their concerns and meetings, so. But anyway, I did talk to Patrick, and he said there is a way all three of you could be there at once if you posted it early enough. You'll have to talk to him to get the exact legal things how to do that. Apparently, I don't think it's no big deal, but if you guys are gonna be there, then I will, be on the radio on WMOK Wednesday morning. If some of you would attend, I'll bring that up in the meeting. If you have questions, concerns, blah, 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 come to that meeting. We'll have some county commissioners there to hopefully can answer your questions. That'd be okay if I say that? Anybody gonna be there?
I will attempt to be there.
Okay.
I'll be working with, Thursday night, I work Tuesday night.
Well, is this Thursday at Wallace?
Yeah, the meeting's this Thursday night, 6:30.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I've been going over these options pretty hard here, and exactly how did this company come up with these options? Are these totally their idea, how they measured, went through the offices, talked to everybody? These options?
Well, I don't know if I understand the question for sure, but they went into each office and met with the office holder and the employees that work in those offices. Spent a lot of time, they were here for a while. And they talked to the employees to see how efficient their office was, the room that they had. And that's how they decided on square footage. That the office, some offices requires less square footage and some requires more square footage. And that's what they looked at. I don't know if that's answering your question or not.
Well, I mean, is there any other options on the table at this time, other than these, what's in this book?
I think, Gerald and Jeff can speak too, but I think the board, the committee that hopefully will have either those options to look at or other ideas that they come up with. And, and if people in the community comes up with different ideas, I'm sure that could, options can be looked at as well.
Well, I've noticed in any of these options that I've looked at, there's no, information about if we go to the Banterra Bank, if we do this or we do that, and what do we do with this building if we go somewhere else? There's no information on that. I mean, we've still gotta do something with it, we can't just let it sit here, I understand that.
Yeah, I don't know, Gerald, Jeff, y'all got ideas on this?
I think they said Wallace at, what, 1.6, tear it down?
I don't know if that's in there or not.
No, I have,
1.6 million, they said tear it down.
I don't know if I heard that or not. Maybe it is, but
That's-
that seems like a lot of money.
I think it's in there.
Is it?
Look at this.
It might be. I don't know.
Well, if there's a dollar figure to demolish this building in there, I don't think it is included in any of the proposals. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Not that I'm aware of.
so that's,
I would hope, I'm not even saying if we let this building, I'm not saying that's an option, but if it was, know, historical society, maybe city metropolis wanted, you know, I don't know what options would be there.
But that's something we gotta figure out pretty close now.
Mhm.
Who will make the final decision on which way we'll go?
Taxpayers,
It'll be a vote?
it'd be on the ballot.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know how that was gonna happen. What, with what I have been told and talked to, a lot of people are leaning towards saving this courthouse at all costs, which I understand there's gonna be a line there we can't cross. And a lot of them will be willing to go at more cost to save it, even if it's higher than what the option is. My question is, how do you explain to people what this option's gonna be and how much it's gonna exactly cost? And here we get a vague figure. There's no broke down, it's $160 a square foot. That's new construction, this is not gonna be new construction in any shape or form. What would be wrong with having the outfit come in here and giving us an exact estimate? I mean, we've got a electrical company or two here in Metropolis, we got some plumbers come in here. The only stipulation there is they just can't come in here and make their own plans up. They have to, some architect is gonna have to draw up exactly what we have to do. And I realize that it costs money.
Wallace, they, told us it cost, $1 million to plumb the building. But as far as I know, there's just one pipe bad in the building.
Well, that's,
You know anything about that, Jason? We got blocked off down here on this end because it comes out in the wall. But, I mean, everything works. It's outdated, but as far as I know, all the pipes and all work except that one.
well, it's just something we need to,
Well, let me ask you on that.
Okay.
The bathroom, the urinals, none of them work on the first floor here, right? Then upstairs.
That's right. What, let's see.
Then upstairs bathroom, there's two
Both
toilets.
urinals don't work, and one toilet don't work.
And then upstairs it's the same way.
But, see, I guess they all run into one time. And evidently that pipe's rusted in two or broke or something.
Then why does the other one, the toilet, one toilet work then?
I don't know.
So, see, I mean, there's some uncertainty there.
so, there's no way for us to sit here and do a figure unless somebody actually looks at it and say, hey, this is what.
This is what's wrong.
Well, yeah.
And this is-
Electrical the same way.
I mean, if we had to spend, say, 50 or 75,000 to get those answers, you think people would want us to spend that?
If it meant saving this building in the long run?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would hate to go with any other option without going to the very last detail to explain to people, hey, we went the whole course on it, trying to figure this building out. This is where it's at, and then let them make the decision, even if it's a hair more money. Roof, from the roof, I mean, to me, the first thing you want to do is take care of the outside of the building. That's gonna fix your roof once and for all, so we don't have that no more. With the roof system like I talked to you about, you're gonna have to do some brickwork and for sure windows. That's gonna get you blacked in. And I don't see how in the world you can replace plumbing, electrical, electronics. And is it my understanding that there is no fire sprinkler system anywhere in this building?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Is that something that will have to be addressed? Is that some kind of state law now, or something we're gonna have to,
It would surprise me if it wasn't.
well, so there's another expense that I'm sure won't be cheap. But until we get those exact figures, it's hard to sit here and talk about any option.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand on our point, I mean, the more in depth they go, the more it's gonna cost us to pay for their services. And so they kinda gave us a estimate of 3 options for us to kinda start out with. And then once, if the taxpayers or this committee decided to go in one direction, then more money would be spent to get more definite numbers. But it's hard to spend a lot of money up front.
Well, just how much would it cost? I don't think it's gonna cost you, 50,000, 60,000 for somebody to come in here and say, hey, look, your plumbing is shot from one end to the other, or this line here for sure's gotta be replaced, blah, blah, blah. And I know your heating system's been patched and repatched, and that's gonna have to be an issue too, and cooling. You mean it's going, somebody would have to actually come in here to present a bid, they're gonna charge us money to present us a bid?
It's gonna take some time, I mean.
I
I'm
think
welcome
what
to
he's talking about, we're gonna have to tell them what to do. You know, like that plumbing and all. I mean, I don't think that the whole building needs to be plumbed, do you? New pipes, man, that'd be a disaster.
I don't know, I'm not. I think until we found, get someone certified in here to tell us some answers. I'll be honest with you, Wally, some of the deals that we've had done over the years to get things fixed is 10 times more than what I thought it would cost us. I mean, there's examples out there for little stuff that we thought would cost us
Yeah.
a few thousand, it ends up costing us 25 or 30,000 to get done,
So it's new construction.
so.
I mean, is there, an option looked at tearing this down and building a new one? Is there an option of tearing this down, building a new one, and maybe building a courthouse and jail combo over there? Those things would be nice, but, I mean, you're looking at a ton of money, again. I really don't think it's gonna cost us as much as, and I could be wrong. There's a lot of stuff to do, and there's a lot of new stuff to be done, and a lot of new stuff to be put in, I understand that. But I can't sit here and guess and tell people, well, how much is it gonna cost us to do this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, your conversation's over then, because they don't wanna hear about option A, option B, or option C until you can tell them, this is what it's gonna cost. This is what we're gonna get into. I mean, that's just my feeling, that's what I'm hearing on the street.
Well, where'd these engineers, that's what they did, isn't it? That's what these engineers did, told us what it was gonna cost, wasn't it?
I mean, that's what they're experts in. They do this pretty often, municipality buildings and.
It sounds high to me, was the 7.2 million to overhaul this courthouse. We got a new roof already. I think the bricks are leaking, I guess.
Well,
So that's
you got a new roof for now,
$1,000 right there.
and I'm sorry, I'm not a flat roof person.
I'm not either.
Whatever
Why?
you've got's not gonna last, I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, it's just good for 15 years. I'm guaranteed for that, but the old one went about 22 or 30.
The one thing that I think needs to happen for sure is, a lot of people talking about, well, let's just do this in stages. Well, I don't have experience in asking for money from the county, but it would look like to me, if you're gonna sit there and ask the county for money 2-3 times in a row for different projects, you're probably not gonna get it.
Yeah.
You better go for the gusto the first time.
May be true too.
One other question, is there any money anywhere in our budget, any way that can be moved around for construction or reconstruction of this courthouse?
That's a Patrick question for me, cause I don't know as far as what's legal.
I mean, I understand there are thousands and thousands of different rules and regulations about everything in this.
We borrowed
State.
money before from different places, Wally. The courthouse system, but we paid it back, it wasn't, we just couldn't take it, we had to borrow it and pay it back.
Do we do anything in the form of grants, applying for grants for any and all things?
Well, we've got one out now, and I guess they canceled it. I mean, we have got,
Yeah, I mean, we're a
since
member
I've
of-
been here, we've got 3 or 4 grants for,
I mean-
50,000 is the biggest grant they'd ever let us have. And Phelps got us that. So, yeah, but I don't think they're available right now, but,
Well, it definitely would be with the state of Illinois, I can understand that, but there's a lot of grant money out there, it's
yeah,
like having a miracle to get anything of it, but
yeah.
that was just one question.
Yeah, I think in time, it might be available, but not from the state right now.
Well, my final question is, and this has been asked to me several times, and it ranges from anywhere to $7 to $12 million. People tell me we've got in our school fund in some form or fashion. Well, I know it's about 8, because I have talked with Mr. Smith. Is any of that money available to be used for any construction like we're talking about?
I mean, they've got that money now just in the bank, or?
And don't ask me to explain exactly how they got it, because it's very
Yeah.
complicated.
I don't know.
He talked for 20 minutes and I got lost. But, yeah, there is that
I didn't
money.
know
Can
that
it
was
be
there.
used for, what can it be used for?
I
Can
don't
we
know.
use it to help us out here? Maybe not all
They
of it,
just
but some
don't
of
need
it.
it, or?
He's gonna be there
Right.
Thursday night, and that's one of the questions we'll ask him to explain for sure.
Okay.
But, that would help us a great deal, whichever direction we decide to go, right?
Yeah.
Looks to me, when new schools was built, I assume there was bonds sold, wasn't there? I'm not as active
So,
as I should be,
I
but
think so.
to me, like, if they've got,
Had to.
if the school district has funds on hand, if it's legal for them to go towards buildings, they need to be paying their bonds off and saving interest money. That's my opinion.
Well, that's, like I say, that's a question he's gonna answer Thursday night, because he went over the whole scenario with me, and that's pretty well what he's gonna do Thursday night. And it pretty well goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. So, but any direction we go, whatever option we decide on, however it gets paid for, it's gonna raise our taxes, right? Okay.
The way I understand it, the bonds especially.
Yeah. I'll attempt to call, or I will call Eric Weflin today, he's the engineer that did all that work. See if he can attend Thursday evening, I mean, it's kinda short notice, but,
That'd be great.
if I'd known, earlier, I could give him a call, but, maybe he can help answer some of those questions.
That'd be great.
But,
I appreciate it.
I'll say 6:30, so I'll call him here in a little bit, ask him.
Would having a fire safety system installed in the courthouse help on our insurance? I mean, you gotta look at all the aspects of
You know,
trying to
that,
save
of course,
money.
we do a lot of construction, but that guy came down, you remember, and fined us all that, but he never said a thing about sprinkler systems. You remember that?
Yeah.
We had put in hot water and all, but he never mentioned it, but if you did a lot of construction, he might.
I don't know how you get it without it, as far as insurance is concerned.
Yeah.
Terrible they are.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got, guys, other than you can make it Thursday evening. Let's keep our fingers crossed, we can get a lot of people there and hash some of it out, and get some questions answered anyway.
Good idea.
Sounds good. I'll text him now and I'll call him.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Walt.
See y'all later.
All right, man.
Hey, what time did the sheriff come in? Anybody know?
About 9.
It's 9:45, so
Something like that.
come up here, Miss Sue. We're trying to make some room
Thank you
for you.
much for seeing us
Thank you.
on a quick notice.
And, have your friend come up here as well.
Okay. This is Jim Lindsay. He does some consulting
Jim, nice
work
to meet you. I'm
with on
Jason.
Port District.
Jeff
See you,
Weber.
Sue.
Good to meet
see
you.
ya.
Gerald, how's it going?
We just have a little issue to talk to you all about. Did you get a letter recently about the SIDES?
Yes, and I passed it around, let everyone read it.
Okay,
Yeah, I got it right here.
Yeah. I forget to
okay,
check.
well, we're kinda here to talk
So-
about that.
Is it Sabrina or is it
Yeah.
Tabitha?
Smith.
Tabitha.
Tabitha.
Tabitha. I think they have some monies there. Massac County's not in SIDES. When they formed SIDES, Massac County couldn't get in there because of the riverboat. They said we wasn't,
We was too rich.
we were too rich. They wouldn't let and then they weren't splitting the counties up. But now, I think they might include a portion of Massac County if we can get the support from Massac County. Now, there were some letters written some time back asking for this support. Metropolis wrote one, Joppa wrote one, Port. So we would like for you all to support that. I think maybe the Port District might be able to get some monies there. Jim, you wanna explain a little more?
I visited with Tabitha yesterday to see if there'd been any progress made toward including Massac County in the SIDS footprint. Presently, you're probably aware, they are in Pulaski County, a portion of Johnson County, and Alexander County. And unfortunately, for those counties, they haven't had a lot of projects that qualified or that they had requests to fund. And consequently, SIDS has quite a bit of money in the bank to loan. There's two programs. There's one that's a grant program, but it's limited to about $30,000. Then there is a revolving credit program, low interest loans to businesses. The businesses then have to repay, and that money goes back in and cycles and is loaned again to qualified recipients. Again, unfortunately, in the counties where they presently have a footprint, there's just no projects, no requests for funds. So that's the reason that they are wanting to expand their footprint and come into Massac County. And another reason is that the Port District has in the past made some requests of them for loans for prospective clients, prospective businesses that we have attempted to attract to the county. We do have a business that I'll be meeting with the principal of the business later this morning and this afternoon to look at some sites that might be available here within the Port District, who we believe would qualify for a SIDS loan or a low interest loan if in fact your board would approve SIDS participating in Massac County. So we're hopeful that you all will respond positively to Ms. Smith's latest request. She tells me that once she gets a positive response back from your board, that within 60 days, their board, the SIDS board, could approve expanding their footprint and coming into Massac County and making monies available to prospective businesses that would create jobs. Creating jobs is what it's all about, and not only creating jobs, but sustaining the existing jobs here in the county.
Let us
See, where you at on the port have they made any progress, or?
Well, not much. We're getting close on some things, but you know, it takes money, and this is what we need right here. You know, we need some
How much money can they put out for something like that?
SIDS.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Again,
if
there's
they have a limit or not.
30,000 limit on a direct grant in the intermediary lending program, or the revolving program. The maximum loan amount's $250,000 at
Well,
4.5%.
The reason I asked that question, I was telling Jeff and Jason, I looked at one down at Carroll years ago, and they told me $17 million to build a port district. Where they unload barges, and that may be right, it may not be right.
It's not it's not inexpensive, especially with the hoops that you have to jump through to permit one. The Army Corps of Engineers, the Coast Guard, everyone else gets involved. And now, of course, FEMA gets involved if you're within a flood zone or in a floodplain. So it's not a cheap proposition by any means. But we have a lot of opportunities in Southern Illinois, and that's what we've been concentrating on is taking advantage of the opportunities that are here. But the thing that we're disadvantaged by, and it's unfortunate, is transportation. As you well know, a lot of our economy has gone overseas. To get, into that export market, you have to get to a, ocean-going or sea-going port, New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, wherever. And we're disadvantaged from the Gulf states by the fact that, transportation is expensive. And we're trying to make that transportation less expensive by developing the inland waterways.
Sure.
It's also unfortunate that a community such as Metropolis and a county like Massac County that was basically river and railroad towns today has no local rail service. We have
It is.
3 major railroads that hub here and come to a common hub here in Massac County, and none of them
And not a
offer local
spur.
service. That's exactly right. So that's what we've been
Working on that.
promoting, and we need SIDE's help in doing that. So we hope that you all will choose to allow them the opportunity.
I mean, well,
I was thinking that letter we had just, the first letter, did it even,
she
ask
came in,
us-
I think she came in and talked with us.
okay, maybe that's what it
Yeah,
was.
she came in and talked with us, and,
I didn't even know we was
was.
supposed to sign a letter or anything,
Well-
maybe I was in the dark.
And we'll discuss and give it to Patrick, and hopefully get on the agenda
Yeah.
next week or two, and that way we can get something sent out.
Like Sue said, before the appeal went out to communities, but she indicated to me yesterday, in my conversation too with her yesterday, was kind of a follow-up. She said it's really county oriented. The county has to get on board.
I think she came in and somebody came with her, I think it was 2 ladies.
Yeah, it was.
And, it's probably been 5 or 6 weeks ago she's been in.
It's something that doesn't cost the county. It's just a job creation opportunity that exists, and the money's there, sitting in the bank ready to lend.
Was she asking for your support when she came in?
She was telling us about the program.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
Revolving.
She just came in and told us about the program, and at that time, I thought she said she was gonna come back in 3 or 4 weeks and give us opportunity to talk about it.
No, we just sent a letter that we supported
Yeah.
SIDE's coming into Massac County. I don't know, there were several different, Metropolis sent one, and Joppa and Brookport.
I think there
Port
were
District
7,
sent one,
the Port District sent, I
Uh-huh.
believe,
and that's
That
been
they
a
were-
couple of months ago probably,
yeah,
maybe
well,
even longer.
the last time she was approached the Port District was March of
Yeah, see,
2015.
time slipped, so it was a while, so, yeah, if you all
It may
could,
have been
It may have been
more than
long.
a couple of weeks
you know,
ago.
sometimes
Oh,
things
yeah.
get,
Yeah,
you know, you
Month
get
or better.
pushed back but who does this for you all? Who does like a letter or
Patrick will. That's
Does
why
he?
we'll give this to Patrick, and
could?
he'll probably, check with Rick and them and see what they did, and,
He's a little more eloquent.
yeah. Thanks.
Well, I did ours and it wasn't that eloquent, you just say what you want.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll get it done, get it put on the agenda, and maybe next week or 2. We'll have it done for you.
I'm gonna be,
Be on me, call me.
I will,
Oh, that's
you
no
know
problem.
me.
Yeah,
I'll say, have you done that yet?
Would you spell your last name just so I don't misspell it?
SANDUSKY.
he's taking notes.
K-Y. I almost put an I in.
No.
That's why I asked. I figured it's better to ask than to.
I'm not a Pollock. All right,
I'm kind of an implant. I actually live in Saline County, Harrisburg, but the Port District's been kind to allow me the opportunity to for the last 3 years to try to help. And
So you're not a
hopefully-
member of the Port District? you
I am
just have
not,
a-
I'm just a
have a-
consultant.
Have you done this in the past or something? Is that why they got you as a consultant, or?
I think, I've done a lot of railroad in the past, and that was the focal point that they wanted me to concentrate on rail. And, my company at one time owned the Crab Orchard and Egyptian Railroad in Marion, Herring.
Okay.
And, I kinda was brought on board for my rail experience. I almost said expertise, but I don't have any.
you don't have it anymore. I've known Jim, we've been friends for a long time,
All right.
several years.
Our
All
company's
right.
done a lot of work in Massac County. We've done a lot of work for EEI, Joppa plant.
Well, we hope good things can happen, and we want people to get
All right,
jobs.
yes, Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
we need to get something rolling here and,
Where are they at as far as the location? Do you know, on the Port District?
Can you disclose that?
what do you mean the location?
Well, I mean, I know they looked at the barge company one time, then they
Well-
looked at the, down there, Joppa.
We're still working on Joppa,
Okay.
yeah,
I
that's,
think that'd be a good location.
it will be, but
Out of the
that's
way.
been it takes so long, back
Get that-
and forth.
The ground cleaned up or whatever, the approval or the,
Portions of it are, and see, the big thing was Illinois EPA, well, y'all know how they are,
Yeah.
but it's looking good,
We're very close on it.
yeah.
We've also encouraged, existing, businesses to participate on a cooperative basis with the Port District. You know, there's no need in re-permitting and recreating when we've already got existing and it's not being totally utilized. There's still capacity. EEI has a harbor that's sitting down there and has 6 sails out on the river that's not being used.
They don't do
as-
anything on Earth
No,
Report, do they?
no, it's
The only big
totally.
thing there's been, they've switched, it was electric energy, Dynergy, they've had different presidents down there. You get used to one and then here another one comes in, well, you have to familiarize him, with what you would like to do, but they're working with us pretty good. We went down last week and visited with them, and
Lafarge badly needs, access to rail. The finished product at Lafarge now is trucked over to Paducah, and then it's put on rail in Paducah.
Well, I thought on this expansion, they were gonna rebuild that railroad that used to go in there. Is that still an option or?
We're working on that, the Port
Oh,
District.
okay, good.
that would be
It's just
good.
another,
will they help fund some of that since they really need it bad?
I think so.
Yeah.
The Port District retained a short line railroad, a switching railroad to represent the Port District with regard to that project. And they've made a lot of progress. It's gonna take the cooperation of some others in the area.
Some others, meaning landowners or companies. Well, the railroad can't be too far from them now, can it?
It's at the, of course, the Joppa plant, the Joppa EEI's plant.
Less than a mile then,
Less
to
than a mile.
them. Of course, you still got, you
But
don't exactly turn the train around.
Unfortunately, like so many of these communities, that rail, the communities decided that hiking trails were more important than rail. And they made that same decision at EEI. They decided that a vehicular road was more important than the old roadbed. There used to be a roadbed
There used to be a railroad
Railroad,
there.
yeah,
Right.
yes.
over to Lafarge. And EEI acquired it and converted it to vehicular traffic.
Sure would like to get some more jobs out there, so we'll try to
We
get those done.
definitely need more jobs.
I'm really excited about the opportunities in this meeting that I have later today. We've been working with this person for over a year to bring a project to Massac County that would create about roughly 36 jobs.
That's what we're gonna have to go after. We're not gonna get anything here that's gonna employ 200 to 300 people. We're gonna have to go 30 here and 20 there, and
You got, if it grows here, if it occurs here, or if it's produced here, that's where we need to concentrate. We don't need to be attempting to bring businesses in because, face it, Illinois, the business environment in Illinois is not, too attractive to any large company that's wanting to locate here. And, the financial situation of the state is such that it's hard to attract anyone.
Yeah, bordering states really are
Yeah.
look a lot better. That's
all
good.
right, we'll
Thank
get out of here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all
Appreciate it.
seeing us
Be
on
nice meeting you.
Yeah.
We'll
last
talk it
minute.
over and see what we come
Yeah.
up with.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Beautiful
Okay.
weather out
See you
there, they
down.
enjoy.